Hey everybody, good Monday morning. It's May 13th, 2019. Edgy Tim here. And again, appreciate everyone tuning in. Let's go over some things that went down past weekend or so. And certainly recruiting, as has been the case, continues to be the case, is certainly at the forefront of everything. Before we get into that, however, hope everybody had a good weekend, had a good Mother's Day, and certainly a very, very busy weekend for me. Mother's Day, obviously, on Sunday for my wife, and so dealt with that all day yesterday. And then, of course, my daughter graduated from Illinois State over the weekend, so very, very busy weekend. So, of course, that being said, we had a handful of big-time commitments, and started on Friday. It was funny. I was actually sitting in the graduation ceremony at Illinois State as Dominic Colato from Crystal Lake South gave Miami of Ohio his verbal commitment. I think a really good fit for Dom. Again, anyone that's gotten to know Dominic Colato over the last couple of years, you know exactly what you're getting in Dom. You're getting a kid that absolutely loves the sport, loves football, really hard worker, kid that I've seen camp everywhere over the last couple of years. And again, kid's just a really hard-nosed, hard-working kid. Great family, by the way. I had a chance to meet the parents quite a bit. And, again, just high-character kid as well. And, as far as a player is concerned, really good strength, a perfect kind of inside interior offensive lineman, center guard type. And again, moves well for his size, does a lot of good things as well. And again, I think the only real there's a few things that Dom will need to continue to work on. I think pass pro is certainly one thing that he's done a lot more run blocking as opposed to pass pro at Crystal Lake South. But again, I think it's something that Dom is going to just continue to get better. And I think has a chance to possibly work in maybe becoming a longer term starter, hopefully for the Red Hawks. So again, really nice decision and a nice quote unquote get, if you will, for the Miami Red Hawks and Dom Colato. So that was Friday. And then Saturday, J.J. McCarthy, the 2021 Phenom quarterback from the state of Illinois, Nazareth Academy, state champion, really to not a whole lot of people's surprise, did in fact give Michigan a verbal commitment. That was the rumor really leading up the last couple of weeks, was that he was a heavy lean to Michigan, made an earlier unofficial visit. Things went great. And basically everybody knew that JJ was returning to Michigan on Saturday for another visit. And let's just say everybody just had a feeling this was going to happen. So again, Saturday evening, this went down, and JJ indeed gave Michigan his verbal commitment. And again, it's a sign of the times, folks. It's a kid that, again, is only a sophomore, still a sophomore in high school, hasn't graduated his sophomore year yet, already verbally committed to Michigan. And again, it's one of those scenarios where I think everybody's always a little cautious about taking verbal commitments this early, but that'll tell you the type of talent that JJ is and will be down the road. That, he had major offers from some major Power 5 programs, and Michigan is the one that lands him. And, everyone's written and broke down everything that JJ can do. And, again, physically, I think the big game changer for JJ was a growth spurt he had, really leading up to his sophomore year and then into and through his sophomore year. It was pretty amazing. Greg Holcomb, who's his quarterback coach, and I would talk on and off quite a bit. And the one time I went from seeing JJ, and I think it was obviously it was a state title game. I got to interview him afterwards. And from that point and even really at that point, and then maybe a 2-3 month window before I saw JJ again, and just it looked like a completely different young man. He had grown 3-4 inches, put on 20-25 pounds, and again, kind of went from looking like a kid to more of a young man. And that, I think, was really the only missing piece of the puzzle for JJ. Everyone knew what he could do throwing the ball, arm strength, intelligence. I mean, the kid has all the tools, and the only tool he was kind of missing was, would he get any bigger from where he was really at the summer going into his sophomore year? And then how much bigger would he get? Would he get taller? Would he get stronger? Well, again, we've seen that asked and answered. And again, just great young man. Had a chance to deal with JJ quite a bit. And what's always impressed me was how well he's handled everything. There's been a lot of speculation about him, about his size, and a lot of the quote unquote haters out there, and questioning this and questioning that, and why is this kid a freshman getting a scholarship offer? And all I can say at that point is I understand those concerns, but these colleges, they kind of know what they're doing. They know what they're getting into if they're going to offer a kid as a freshman in high school. So again, it holds out. Now, the thing to remember as part of this, he's still just a sophomore, and it's a verbal commitment. And again, it's taking nothing away. I know JJ loves Michigan, and I don't see any wavering here whatsoever. But a lot can change. A lot can change from now until the day he's able to sign a letter of intent. So coaching changes. You never know what can happen. So again, that's why I think people get really excited. And as you've noticed, the commitment window and the verbal commitment window is getting earlier and earlier, especially with quarterbacks. That's no surprise at all. Quarterbacks have been committing earlier and earlier, and we're going to continue to see that. Again, JJ, the second 2021 quarterback to commit here in Illinois. Ethan Kaliamanis was the first, committed to Minnesota, and then obviously JJ follows up to Michigan. This is the trend. We are going to continue to see this. And as far as talking about the 2020 class, I said this for over a year. I think the quarterbacks in the 2020 class are going to be in kind of for a rough ride. If you don't have that offer right now, Carson Camp, a kid from Normal West, is a perfect example. And I think Carson really knew and had a really good handle on quarterback recruiting. He had some really nice FCS offers. He was drawing some looks from some FBS schools, but, really researched those FCS offers hard and found a school that's a great fit for him in South Dakota, and ended up giving a verbal commitment early because he knows that those offers are not going to be around forever. So again, it's the continuing transformation of the recruiting process and the earlier and earlier verbal commitments. So again, congratulations to JJ. Again, just tremendous young man. Enjoy talking to him. Still enjoy talking to him. Kid's got a great personality, great sense of humor, very grounded, very, just very disciplined in his game. But the kid also knows how to have a little bit of fun from time to time. Again, I just love dealing with him and talking to him. A great young man. So again, congratulations to both those guys. Now, what's coming up? This Sunday, I will be in East St. Louis for the annual Rivals Camp. Invite only, best of the best, several top underclassmen besides 2020. I'm excited about the 2020 group from Illinois. I think I'm equally as excited about the 21s and 22 that have been extended offer camp invitations to take part in the RSVPs have been very strong from the younger class. This might be the best group of quote unquote underclassmen. When I say underclassmen, I'm not necessarily talking about 2020, so I just kind of consider seniors at this point. When I mention underclassmen, I'm talking 2021s and 2022s that are scheduled to take part in the showcase. And again, people wonder why I don't write these gigantic preview pieces for camps, because quite honestly, folks, some kids will show, some kids won't show. You just don't know until that day. So I'm sure I'll do a preview, kind of a smaller preview piece on Thursday going into Friday, previewing the camp for Sunday. We'll throw some names out there that I know for sure are going to be there. But again, you just never know. But trust me, very excited for that underclassmen group on Sunday. And I think there's going to be some names from that young group that are going to really step up and get noticed by several of the Rivals publishers and recruiting experts and what have you. So again, always very excited to get down to the Rivals camp. I was actually at the Rivals Combine at College of DuPage on Saturday, was able to spend a handful of hours there. Didn't stay quite as long as I wanted to because, as I mentioned, going into that graduation type things, we had a graduation party for my daughter and all kinds of stuff going on. So I had to get back here and handle it. But again, great turnout again at the Rivals Combine, absolutely free combine. Saw some really good talented kids. We had a handful, I think 7 or 8 kids got invitations off that combine, which I think is really important. So again, always great to be out at COD. Again, just great host at College of DuPage every year, and I love being out there and seeing my friends over at COD. So again, thanks to everyone that came out and supported the Rivals Combine. And again, great crowd, well over 1,000 kids. And And again, just great to put on a free event. And there's going to be a free Rivals Combine Saturday, this coming Saturday, not the camp. The camp is Sunday, and that's invitation only, but the Combine is free the day before at East St. Louis. So that's Saturday. You can find that. Just follow at Rivals Camps, and you can get all the information there. So again, kind of what's going on. This weekend really starts the beginning of my camping season, if you will, because really after this weekend, after the Rivals Camp, for the most part, we start college 1 days. And again, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't hype up where I'm going because I don't know. Maybe I'm just old. But as many of you are aware, I just don't talk about going to camps. I actually go and I actually work the camps. I don't show up for a half hour, take a roster and go home. I actually stay for most, if not the entire camp. So again, I'm going to be just about everywhere this summer. So looking forward to seeing many of you out there. And again, as far as the site is concerned, continue to roll out the early team previews. The video portion of that will begin to roll out this week as well. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, just lots going on here. I think the next video I'm going to do, we're going to get a little bit more into the recruiting process and maybe some do's and don'ts. I see there's a lot of so-called experts out there that are talking about various things and giving advice, which absolutely scares the crap out of me these days. But we'll get into that for another time. But again, thanks everybody for watching. Looking forward to a very good, very busy week, and I hope you do the same. And we'll talk soon. Thanks everybody. Have a great week.